My name is Jahmee Phillip, and this is my story. I'm a 29-year-old single dad. I have a son who will be 5 in about a week from now. I am presently a clerk in the Ministry of International Trade. Part-time, my adopted parents and I run a vegan spot just across on South Independence Square Street. Also, I do community outreach work. I am a youth volunteer for the youth camp annually. That's the government youth camp. As well as I am a youth football coordinator for the Molyneux grassroots football program. I'm also on the executive 4-H for the St. Kitts Nevis 4-H. I was a PRO and the Molyneux 4-H as the president of the Molyneux 4-H club. I love to help youths, as well as I also look to elder persons to inspire me. 60, 70, 80 years old, there's a saying, experience teaches knowledge, and there ain't nobody older than and better than the elder people who can teach you about the knowledge of life. I was about 5, just starting elementary, when I could say I lost both my parents. My mom died when I was just about 5, and my biological dad, to say he hasn't been around. So I was raised partially, so for the first 10 years of my life with one of my aunts, that's my dad's sister. Growing up there, I would say it was a bit of up and down. To cut a long story short, it was more of like a Cinderella story, learning as I go and, influenced by a lot of my peers to do some good stuff, some bad stuff, just growing up as youths, actually experiencing the whole idea of a young boy growing up, which is in the neighborhood of the Keys Village, and which was rather good at first. There's a lot of stuff we used to do, from going to the beach, to the mountainside, playing football, and all this stuff boys do. I was just about 15 years old when I actually moved back in with one of my sister, my mom's daughter, and that in itself was very good. And I see that as a change in my life from a road of going down where a lot of young guys take, where they're influenced by their peers, as opposed to now actually being more positive and seeing a lot of, and have a lot of young people follow him. Like me with friends and stuff, I've seen a lot of altercation and stuff transpired, and as a part of their group, I was forced to be involved and stuff, and I would say it is something that no young man or young boy would actually really want to be a part of. But just getting the sense of love from your peers, because that's what it is. It might not be at that time what it should be, which in terms of positive, but it is actually a sense of love from your peers and stuff. So I did engage in some stuff. I chose to go down that route, not to say as a form of excuse, because like I said, I lost both my parents early. So a lot of the parental figure was missing. Right there and then, the next best thing would be the peers you hang out with, where would be your sense of comfort, because it might not be the best at home and stuff like that. So you then chose to be associated with people who actually look out for you, so that is how I get to go down that certain road at that point of time in my life. After I moved in with my sister, I saw a bit more positive change in my life. I started associating myself with a bit more positive people, and I was just about 14. That's the same time I moved with my sister, and I had a job at a bakery, Island Bakery. That's the first place I fell in love with baking. I held on to the job for a few years and for my rest of my time during high school, which I then went on to do some baking as I with Mr. Jahmee Bakery, and presently I do me and my family, my adopted family, I would say, but still family. We do a vegan business where I'm everything to do with baking and stuff. That's what I do. And so from bread, cakes, pastries, to name a few, raisin rolls, coconut rolls, patties, all these things to do with flour and baking. That's one of my passion presently. So when I started associating myself with people more of that nature, then I started seeing a change in my life. I figure out, in order for my son to do what I'm teaching, I have to first, walk the same road that I'm teaching. So I chose to be not do as I say, but do as I do, kind of role model for my son, and which is going pretty well, I would say. For him and I just wrapped up a football session with some other youngsters a few hours ago, and and he loved it, and as well as the other youngsters, they could, once they have some kind of thing that could draw them out, some sense of doing something, that is where you see a lot of energy and a lot of the focus should be appointed to. My son and I has a very father-son good relationship in terms of a lot of stuff that I actually give him the opportunity to do for himself. The little stuff that kids are, so a lot of parents would say, okay, don't do this, do this. I would ask him questions, in a way that, not just yes, no, to actually get more, information out of him. He is very independent. There's a lot of stuff I see him doing for himself, just at the age of 5, this, very, very independent boy, and he's very outspoken, everybody he passes, he don't have to know, he's like, good morning, good afternoon. And, I just see him going down the road that I lead, that I show, not just what I say, I would hope that, with all the teachings that I bestow upon him, and as well as all the stuff that I act out, in terms of, we basically do, that he would one day choose to follow the same positive direction that I'm in. I first get a sense of helping people from all these social activities and community outreach activities that I do. For instance, within my neighboring clubs and the general St. Kitts Nevis 4-H and as well as the government youth summer camp. It's a sense of actually helping people with with no strings attached. It's just to actually give back in every way possible and every way positive to youths. I see a lot of youths that every time they see me, they want to know if are we gonna have 4-H today? Are we gonna have football today? When are we gonna have football tomorrow? Just the other day we had a form of community outreach where the kids from the club went around visiting a lot of elderly persons. Did a few songs, a form of associated with them. We also do homework assistance program. We have just from a good community citizen, we have allotted us a piece of land to do a bit of farming for the youth club. So we're going to venture into a bit of farming in the near future. There's an educational aspect where we help them with their homework as well as studies and all them stuff. In terms of the community, there's a bit of a support, and which could be a bit more. A lot of parents send their children out to the club, but I think there could be a bit more supportive and a bit more involved. So as well as coming out sometime just for a half an hour or so to maybe a football game, football practice, to see actually what their sons and daughters, because they have been a few girls as well, come out just to see what their children does on a whole. That could be a bit more of a support to them. Well, I think that parents should be a bit more involved in their kids' life because, well, like I said, I didn't have any parents growing up, and it was very easy for me to be influenced by my peers as well as, stuff that surrounds me and all that. So if parents can be there physically for their child to show them the way positively and stuff like that. I think that's the best thing. Any parent and any child should have a good parent and child relationship. Besides the fact of feeling good in volunteerism, there's a lot of perks to it. I mean, you know, you get to know different people from different walks of life. You know, just recently I wrapped up a workshop a few months ago in St. Lucia, where I met a vast amount of youths. The topic of the meeting was citizen security with the youth. So where you know, we have a lot of statistics surrounding youths and violence and a whole. And you know, I got to learn a lot of people from St. Lucia, Bahamas, Barbados, you know, St. Virgin Islands, as well as, you know, a lot of different Caribbean islands. And locally, I get to meet a lot of people from different communities. I get to experience a lot of people's views and different stuff, you know, because there are times when you got a lot of things going on, or you think on a situation a certain way, but then there's somebody who's gonna say, okay, no, it might not be this way, but think about it this way, and then it shed a lot more light on what you actually know. Volunteerism is a form of actually building self-esteem and self-confidence, because you know, you can get to meet a lot of different people. As a positive person and in a way of reaching out to the community, I think society looks at me as a form of a young person who has been through so much, you know, growing up without parents, and to actually be here inspiring people and other youths to actually walk a positive way. I think from the support I get, I would like to conclude, I get that they are actually for the work that I'm doing, and you know, they support it in every way they can, and you know, they just basically, you know, try to push me and nudge me more in the direction that I'm going. I view society as where there are positive people as well as there's negative people. You know, one just have to surround themselves with the direction they want to go in, you know, the direction that they choose, you know, and they think is best for them in whatever point in their life. You know, when it's all said and done, people will always be who they want to be. You know, for a individual to grow up in a neighborhood where it's rough, and to turn out, you know, say basically the gem, you know, on top of that in that neighborhood, that is very good. You know, so I see society has the biggest part to play in child's life as well as their parents. You know, because society is one of the molders of any child or any youth in their community. You know, so I see them that going down the road that they should be more positive to the youths, and you know, try to shed a lot more light and to give the youth them self-enlightenment, you know, and self-awareness, you know, and a sense of where they came from, you know, and where they are going, you know. Final words to anyone that's watching out there. In order for you to do whatever you want to accomplish in life, you know, first look it within yourself, because the same energy that evolves from every man, you know, everything there is, you know, it's the same energy that's within you, you know. So it's just for you to take that energy and transfer it positively. You know, there's a quote, energy flows where attention goes, you know, the law of attraction. So if you contribute your attention positively, that's where your energy is gonna flow. You know, keep it positive 100, and you know, just keep it real. Just be the best you can be, because it's so hard, you know, trying to be somebody else when, you know, you can be you know. And like I said, make sure it's positive. My name is Jahmee Phillip, and thanks for watching, and this was my story.